My name is Lindsay. I'm a new mom of one sweet baby girl. She's about 7 months old, a little over 7 months now. I'm going to do my makeup while I talk with y'all about this because I'm on limited time. She's taking a nap currently, so thank God for that. I guess you can't really see, but anyways, taking a nap, thank God. The past day and a half, I have started sleep training, if you want to call it that. I'm not really much of a sleep training person. I never thought I would sleep train my babies. I'm very nurturing, just thought that I would always go to comfort them for every single thing that they needed. But at almost 7.5 months, I finally have decided it's time to do something. So I'm gonna kind of chat with you about the first day of this. I looked through a bunch of different YouTube videos yesterday after a really bad night of sleep. She woke up like every hour and a half to 2 hours the night before last. And I am exclusively breastfeeding her. We do bottles every once in a blue moon. I work just like 1 day a week as a nurse, and so on that day my husband will keep her and feed her bottles, while I'm gone. But that's pretty much the extent of our bottle feeding journey. She will take a bottle, but she doesn't really love it. So with that being said, every nighttime feeding, every bedtime, every wake up, everything, it's been me feeding her, putting her back to sleep. She has always needed me for assistance for sleep. And when I say that, it's always breastfeeding. That is the way she falls asleep. That's the way she goes back to sleep for nap times, everything. And it's never really affected me. I actually kind of enjoyed nursing her to sleep. It was quiet time for me. I feel like it was a good bonding experience for the both of us and very calming. But now it's to the point where it's kind of affecting my mental health. And that's kind of why I am where I am, and I've decided it's time to do something different with our routine. I'm still going to exclusively breastfeed her and nurse her throughout the day and even at nighttime, but I'm just going to do a little bit different of an approach. I watched a ton of YouTube videos from different moms, sleep coaches yesterday. I want to start off by saying I'm in no way, shape, or fashion a expert sleep coach. No schooling or training for that. I am a nurse, but it has no correlation whatsoever. So totally new at this, and just kind of like a lost puppy dog. So I watched a bunch of different YouTube videos yesterday. I'll kind of link below some of the ones that I found super helpful. The gist of what I learned is that, number one, a lot of the sleep experts want you to pay for their programs, which of course they should do that. They're experts, that's their career, that's how they make their living, and I commend that. Me personally, I'm just not in a financial position to be able to pay $150 to $200 for the sleep lessons, or whatever they call them. So I watched a bunch of different moms who had, went with sleep coaches, and even some sleep coaches that had come on and answered some frequently asked questions about sleep training and this, that, and the other. The gist of what I got, one of the sleep coach experts were very blunt, and kind of needed that for me personally, because I've been really struggling with what to do here. And she pretty much put it like, no matter which way you decide to sleep train, no matter which coach you go through, which person on the internet you're looking at, gentle approaches, leave them to cry it out for good. It's all a version of cry it out, unfortunately. The ultimate goal is to teach your baby to fall asleep independently. And then from there, it's just your comfort level of what you're comfortable with as far as when you're going to go in to check on them. How many minutes are you going to let them cry? What type of methods are you going to use when you go into the room to soothe them? All of those different things. Very overwhelming to me. But I just prayed about it a lot yesterday. I was kind of at a breaking point yesterday. Like, okay, something has got to give. Like, I need some sleep, period. Like, I have got to get with the program. She's got to get with the program. We got to figure something out between her and I. I have a trip coming up next month where I'm going to be gone overnight, and it's been causing me insane anxiety to leave her overnight with my husband. Not that my husband is not fully capable. He's fully capable, so supportive, amazing. But for me, with my anxiety, I'm really struggling with that. And I just want to be able to feel confident going on this trip that we have a very successful bedtime routine in place. We have consistency. She's going to know what to expect if she wakes up in the middle of the night, and my husband and I are going to have very clear communication as to what to do. And I want to kind of start taking turns with the bedtime routine, letting him put her to bed, give me just a little bit of a break. I know that that word is hard to use as a mom, but everybody needs a minute. She woke up from her nap, so I'm going to feed her and kind of chat about the rest of this real quick. So anyways, I am a stay-at-home mom. Like 90% of the time, I work normally 1 day a week. Love that. I love being a stay-at-home mom. It's the most amazing thing in the whole entire world. But every mom needs a break sometimes, and mentally I'm struggling to the point where I got to change something with our routine. So here we are changing it up. So I'll just kind of walk you through the changes that I'm making day one, and kind of, I guess, make a video each day to tell you how it's going, and just encourage any moms out there that are struggling with sleep training, not sure what to do. Like, you're not alone in that. This is just chaos. It's just one of those things that I feel like have to figure out on your own a little. You know, you can ask for advice, you can watch videos, you can do this and you can do that, but at the end of the day, you have to do what works best for you and your family. And if it's not broken, don't fix it. If nursing to sleep, co-sleeping, and that is what's working best for you, go for it. I thought that was what was going to work best for me, and right now it's just not. So do what works best for you and your family ultimately at the end of the day. But this video is just for people out there that might be struggling, want to change things up, encouragement. I'm here for you. So we were in a pattern of nursing to sleep. Our pattern should be normally, I feel like babies do eat, play, sleep, eat, play, sleep. We were doing play, eat, sleep, play, eat, sleep. And that is just what we did. She did not go to sleep unless if she was eating. And that goes for bottles too. Like, my husband could not get her to go to sleep unless if she was taking a bottle. And then she would wake up and want to take a bottle. I'm going to multitask a little here. So, you know, for a while that was working. Like, I really did not mind nursing her to sleep. I didn't mind getting up with her in the middle of the night. She was sleeping, 3-4 hour stretches at a time, which I thought was doable. Well, then for like 4 days in a row, she was waking up every hour and a half to 2 hours, and that is not doable for me. And I honestly think it's because she's overtired, because she cannot settle herself back into that next level of sleep. They say there's different levels to sleep. I did a lot of, like I said, lots of video watching, lots of learning yesterday about that different stuff. There's different levels to baby sleep, and I just don't think that she was ever able to get herself into that next level of sleep on her own. She would wake up and rely on me to go in there, feed her, put her back to sleep, and then she's still in just that first basic level of sleep. So the goal is to ultimately teach your baby, assist them into learning how to fall asleep on their own. That's really hard. I was like, where the heck do I even begin with that? You know, like, how do you just teach a 7-month-old, hey baby, fall asleep, bye, good night. So with that being said, from what I learned yesterday watching different videos and stuff, consistency of course is key. If you're going to attempt to sleep train or attempt to change up your routine or whatever it is that you might be trying to do, a takeaway that I saw yesterday was to just be very consistent. If you're going to do it, and if not, just don't, because you're just going to confuse yourself, confuse your baby. They thrive off of routine and consistency, so whatever you decide to do, just make a plan and then do it. Try not to be wishy-washy about it, because you're just going to ultimately confuse your baby, confuse yourself. So don't do it if you're not planning to stick with it, pretty much. What I personally am changing about my routine, the biggest thing is, instead of nursing to sleep, I'm going to nurse when she wakes up now. That is my number one thing to change. Like, I'm not going to nurse her to sleep anymore, except for overnight. Of course, if she genuinely wakes up hungry, I'm not going to withhold my child from a feeding. Like, I'm going to feed her. But at the end of the day, I'm going to still try to put her to sleep awake in her crib, or at least drowsy at that point if it's overnight. Like, I'm not going to completely nurse her to where she's completely sound asleep and put her in her crib. I'm going to nurse her, change her diaper, let her eat, and then ultimately still put her in her crib so that she can put herself to sleep, if that makes any sense. So that's a change that I'm initiating, because I was nursing her until she was completely asleep. and then putting her in her crib, just hoping she wasn't going to wake up, you know, having to lay her down a certain way and pat her butt and just pray to God that she didn't wake up before I got out of the room, kind of thing. And I'm changing up our bedtime routine itself. We were already doing sleep sacks. She was already sleeping in her own crib, which is a blessing to already have that kind of down. We were using the Hatch, you know, white noise sound machine. So I'm going to continue to do that. But I was very bad about not turning my sound machine off. I would just leave it on all day. That's horrible, I know. But her nursery was just white noise, period, all day long. So I'm changing that. I'm going to make sure that we only turn the sound machine on when it's time for sleep and turning it off as soon as she wakes up. And I'm doing that with my baby so that she knows it's time for sleep or it's time to get up. I'm going to utilize more of the blinds and curtains in the nursery. I make sure to open them as soon as she wakes up with her and kind of show her, hey, it's time to get up. We're waking up. And then we shut them together before she goes to bed. And I watched a video yesterday. I'll put her link below. I honestly can't remember her name or anything. I think it was from a couple of years ago, but it was really sweet. She said that she adopted singing to her baby before sleep and kind of just like swaying with the baby instead of feeding or rocking, just kind of holding the baby close and singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, but not in like a singing voice, just kind of a monotone talking voice. Because the babies are able, I guess, to like try and mimic that, that monotone sound and could possibly sing themselves to sleep eventually, like twinkle, twinkle, you know. Anyways, so I'm adopting that. I started that last night and I think it, you know, it was fine. So pretty much the gist of the routine is, hi, hold on. Is we go into the nursery. We, you know, can do playtime with the lights on, with the curtains open, have a lot of fun. We do bath time every night for our routine. So we did a bath last night and then playtime together. We do a book before bed every night. It's called Sleepy Bear. I love that book. Read it together. And then we shut the curtains, shut the blinds together, and turn our sound machine on. I kind of sway her back and forth. Of course, make sure her diaper is clean, that she was fed. I didn't mention that. I guess feeding is before bath time. I do a really good feeding in the lights with no sound machine. Make sure she eats really good, that she's really full. She's also starting solid, so we do like a solid food at dinner time. So in my mind, I feel as though she has had sufficient calories for the day. That's very important, of course. You want to make sure that your baby's not hungry, has a clean diaper, all of those things checked off before you put them to bed. Otherwise, you're going to put them to bed and they're going to be crying and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, maybe her diaper is dirty, or did she eat enough today? You know, now I'm nervous. Makes you want to go in there, check on them. So making sure all those things are done, it makes you at least, or me at least, feel better about the situation. So do all of those things, put the sound machine on, we're rocking, I sing the little song, I place her in her crib, I give her a kiss, I tell her I love you so much, you know, good night, mommy loves you, give her a kiss, and then walk out, shut the door, turn your little video machine on. I have the video, the Eufy baby camera, love that thing. So you put the baby to sleep, shut the door, watch the camera, see what she does. All the people I watched yesterday told, you know, their viewers that pretty much your baby's going to cry. That's the only way they know how to express themselves. That's the only emotion that they know. They're going to protest pretty much and say, you're not feeding me to sleep. You're not doing what you normally do. And I'm mad. Like, I'm mad about it. And they're going to cry. And that's okay. There's a difference between a protest cry, I'm mad at you, I'm frustrated, and I'm emotionally not okay. And I feel like as a mom, you kind of know your baby's cries. And you just are going to have to go with your gut and what you feel comfortable with. For me, I'm not comfortable with my baby crying more than like 5 to 10 minutes at a time. That's just me. Other parents can go longer, shorter. That's totally up to you. I feel like you get to decide that for you and your family. I don't want my baby crying more than 5 to 10 minutes at a time because I wouldn't want that for myself. Sleep experts would probably, you know, come at me and tell me that that's wrong and I should let them cry more, but that's just my preference. So I put her in the crib. The first time I watched her on the monitor, of course she cried, she was mad, she was frustrated. It was really hard for me to watch. I gave it 7 minutes. I started a timer at 7 minutes. I went in there. I put my hand on her back. I said, you know, Mommy loves you so much. It's time to go to bed. Gave her a kiss. And I walked back out. And I shut the door again, and I watched her on the monitor. And after about 5 minutes the second time, she found her thumb. She does not take a pacifier. And she put herself to sleep. And I thought I could do jumping jacks because that was the first time that I feel like that has happened in our home. So that was amazing. We did the same thing for our first nap this morning. And she did not cry but for like 2 minutes this time. And put herself to sleep and slept for 50 minutes. And she's normally a 30-minute napper. So it's only day 1. I feel like we have a lot of room to grow, but I'm going to just try to keep it very consistent with the bedtime routine, very consistent with the nap time routine. Pray that she starts just continuing to learn how to put herself to sleep. I'm very, very confident. Ooh, thank you. Very confident in her, in myself, in my husband, that we are going to get through this little hump of this sleep issue, and it's going to be great. I know that all families go through struggles like this, and it's just finding your balance. I'm kind of making this short and sweet because she's about done nursing, but do what's best for you. Do what's best for your family. You can watch other people. You can talk to sleep experts, talk to your friends, talk to your family, do all these things, but at the end of the day, just know, like, you as your child's mom know what's best for her or him and your family. Take advice, listen to other people, but don't let it get to you, because at the end of the day, I was letting it get to me. Like, if you just fed her more during the day, she would sleep more at night, or if you did this or if you did that, things would be better. And you know, that's very disheartening when you feel like you're doing the best thing that you can for your child at that moment in time. So don't get discouraged. Do what's best for you. Ask for help when you need it. And you got this, moms. I'll be back with a part 2. Maybe I can start when she starts her nap and talk a little more. So there you go. Bye-bye.